Trying to make good burger. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, because we have a public hearing tonight, we want to make sure that all of our ducks are in a row before we begin. So thanks for your patience.
Please enter the main room. Mr. Martin, you may begin.
Yeah, just a minute. Is that done? No. All right. Good evening, everyone. I would like to call this planning board meeting to order for May 20th, 2025. Board members in attendance tonight are Patricia Brill, Craig Eckert, Walter Liss, Millie Sofrenick, and myself, Matt Borkowski. I'll be acting as the chair tonight as Chairman Gruner is currently out of town. Our town staff present, Chris Martin, Director of Engineering and Planning, and Luke Bushin, Deputy Director. And we also have our planning board attorney, Donald Young, with us. Thank you. Now, as we have a public hearing this evening, will the secretary please take the official roll for the record?
Millie Sofrenick,
Here.
Marcy Reynolds, Walter Liss,
Here.
Craig Eckert,
Here.
Patricia Brill,
Here.
Matthew Borkowski,
Here.
James Gruner.
Okay, thank you. At this time, I'd like everybody to stand just for pledge of allegiance, please. Pledge of allegiance. Thank you. So as I mentioned, public hearing is being held today before our planning board. Tuesday, May 20th, 2025 at 6 p.m. in this main meeting room at 475 Calkins Road, Henrietta, New York, 14467 to hear all persons with regard to the following application. It is application number PB 224-2, Winter Garden Subdivision, Section 2. This is for preliminary subdivision approval of a 23 lot cluster subdivision for single family homes on approximately 12.42 acres located on Northern Lights Drive in a residential R115 zone district. Tax account number 176.17-1-99. This public hearing is being held so that you, the general public, can present your opinions to the Henrietta Planning Board regarding subdivision concerns such as trees, the lots themselves, open space, the infrastructure, utilities, sidewalks in flood-prone areas. Who is presenting this application, PB 224-2? Come on up and make your presentation. Did everybody sign in on the way in? Yes, if you have a business card, that'd be great too. Yeah. Thank you.
Did you say you wanted a business card as well?
If you have one, that'd be great. Yeah, we'll take it up here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, feel free to begin.
Good evening, and thank you for your time this evening. I'm Bill Areno with Morel Builders. I'm a partner with Morel as well as a director of marketing and sales. And I just wanted to start off the meeting kind of, if I could, give you an overview of what we'd like to accomplish and how we arrived at this point. And then I turn it over to the experts, the engineers here. I've been familiar with this community for many, many years. I actually worked for another developer that went through the approval process back in the early 2000s, almost simultaneously. It was Berkshire Park way back in the day when this was approved. So I was familiar with it and watched it go through the process of building. That neighborhood built over 400 homes over the course of probably 10 years or so. And Mr. Cavatasi, who obviously started the subdivision, got approval on the subdivision. He kind of built a house here and built a house there and plugged along. It's a beautiful neighborhood. Section 1, I think, was approximately 30 sites in Section 1. We got all the way through to a few years ago with just 3 sites left. We were in contract with the Cavatasi family. Walter did pass a few years ago, and we've contracted with the Cavatasi family to purchase those 3 sites, which we've closed on, and then obviously want to purchase Section 2 with approvals. We've gone through and actually purchased the 3 sites, built a model home out there. We built for a customer, Tony and Diana, lot 107. And we are currently building a lot 121 in Section 1. It has nothing to do with this, but in Section 1, beautiful colonial. She actually is a current homeowner in the neighborhood and was building an updated or newer home. So I've met with some of the current homeowners in the neighborhood, and we wanted to show them the product that we're building, not too different, maybe a little more updated from, obviously those homes were built over the last 25 years, and we're building something that's more current. In completing Section 1, as we moved through that process, the town was able to work with the Cavatasis of finally getting that road dedicated and updated. So the Section 1 road did deteriorate quite a bit, but we worked with the town to get that and the Cavatasis to get that updated, and I think it's all dedicated now. It's got a top coat on it. We also worked with the Cavatasi family to remove a lot of the equipment that had been left over from the development of the subdivision. So almost all of that. We had a bulldozer on 707 that was growing some trees and stuff like that. That's all gone. Tony and Diane live there now, and a couple other equipment that are left over that we obviously anticipate on getting out of there as well. I just wanted to kind of give you an overview of what we anticipate and building in the neighborhood in Section 2, if that's okay. If I may take a minute. The handouts that we had, and I have some more for the public if you guys would like some. I tried handing out a few already. This is actually our model home that we built on lot 101. We built that in anticipation of hopefully building Section 2, but we also sold the first 2 lots in there. And we have this project going on in Honey Falls called Wolfsburger Park. And the model home there is very similar to this model home. We've kind of captured a market that it's a beautiful home and a starter move. So someone that might have built an existing home or bought an existing home is moving well-heeled home built colonial, two-story home that's usually 2,100 square feet all the way up to 3,500 square feet. This model here can be built 2,150 or 2,300 square feet with the extra fourth bedroom. It's a really cool layout, less rooms on the first floor, formal living, formal dining room, which aren't as popular anymore, but the space for the family room kitchen are enormous. And then they have an option to put it down on the first floor. And it accommodates for people working from home, and a growing family, because we built a very dry basement that gives them the ability to finish later on. So, these are actually the interior pictures of the model itself. Trying to capture what the consumer is looking for today, very similar to what we hope to build in section 2 of Wolfsburg. And these are an example of some of the other plans. We're not exclusive to 2 stories. Just like in section 1, there's a mixture of 2-story homes and some ranch designs, and that's what we intend on picking or designing for section 2 as well. Some of them are what you like. This house here, that's actually built on lot 107 in section 1. So they're sometimes a little bit narrower than the traditional wide colonial, but we still build that. The one on lot 121 is actually going to be that design there. I think that's it for my presentation. We'll let the engineers take over. Thank you.
Thanks. I think I see, did you, Bill, some of these packets out there? I think I saw people paging through.
Yes, and I do have 3 or 4 more.
Okay. If somebody out there would like it, just raise your hand, because there's some good information in there. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, members of the board. My name is Cole Papasergi with Marathon Engineering. I'm the site civil engineer. Thank you, Bill, for the introduction. Also here today is Richard Teedy with the Morel Builders. So back when this was originally approved, a lot of time has passed, and as such, there's been some things that have changed just naturally as things do. Stormwater regulations are one of those things, as well as the wetland limits that were out there. There's always been wetlands out there, but just the limits of them have changed. So the best kind of protect those resources, protect the vegetation out there. We are proposing a Town Law 278 cluster to reduce the overall development footprint on the site and stay out of those wetland limits. To do that, or as part of that, we'd be requesting smaller lots, and we'd be providing a conservation easement dedicated to the town of about 4 acres in total. The density would be the same, so 23 lot was previously approved, and we're coming back with 23 lot. We're just kind of moving the layout. So in the packet I provided, there you'll see the rendering that's in front of you, and then the previously approved on the second page, and it's really not too much different. It's just kind of shifting it away from the wetlands and shrinking the lot size a little bit. Talk about the utilities on site. We're going to be extending the water main and sanitary sewer from the stubs that were provided in section 1 for this development that was always planned for. For stormwater, we'll be collecting stormwater runoff through swales and gutters, and it'll all be conveyed to the originally designed section 1 pond that included section 2 as part of its design per the original drainage study. But as I mentioned before, stormwater regulations have changed. Green infrastructure is something that is very important when we were designing, so it's something that we needed to add as part of this revised layout. So we're providing some vegetated swales, some bioretentions, and just preserving some natural areas in general to really promote green infrastructure design requirements. So a complete SWIP will be provided and it will meet all DEC stormwater regulations as part of the final design for this. We have had the wetlands delineated, and we're working through the state to get that official jurisdictional determination. And we've received comments from the town on our preliminary plans, and I provided a response to those earlier today. Most of which were technical and things that would generally be answered as we progress into final section or the final plans. So with that, it's also my understanding that there's a fire code compliant a concern with the over 30 lots on a dead end road for this particular section. And as such, it's been discussed with the developer, and they would be comfortable adding a note to the plans to, if required, have sprinklers for these homes, which would be an exception to that fire code. And with that, I'll open it up to any questions the board may have.
Well, actually, with the public hearing, what we'll do is we'll open it up. I see there's a bunch of neighbors here. So we'll open up the questioning to the residents. If you have something you want to say, comments, questions, feel free to come up to the podium, but clearly speak into the microphone, state your name and your address if you would, just so we know where you are in proximity to what the applicant is suggesting here. So at this point, are there any residents who would like to say anything? Come on up to the podium, please.
Just pull that microphone down. You do have to be pretty close to it. Thank you.
And it bends up here, so if you can get that
There you go.
and state your name and your background.
All Joe. Let's continue. I'd like to congratulate the engineering group as you go forward. And I was really glad to hear the engineer say it's a dead end. I realize that it could be complicated in case of fire. However, as a fireman, I understand it can be taken care of. Also, I'm concerned, and I don't have a plan myself, but those who are expertise would like to look at the entrance from East Henrietta Road, especially of the property. There was not the development across the street on East Henrietta Road. I stopped to go and took some pictures, so if you'd like to see what I'm talking about, I would be glad to show to whoever was interested. And especially to realize that traffic increase does make it difficult, not only getting out, and I think this could be taken care of. There is a sign that says there's a street to your coming up if you're coming north, street to your left if you're coming south, but it doesn't show the entrance to it's the drive across the street on East Henrietta. So you know what I'm saying? Yeah, good. Yeah, okay. And there will be some unique ways to make it easier to flow in and out. That's not an overabundance of traffic, but it's for 23 more properties. And we've come to discover that sometimes there aren't two cars at a house. There might be 4 or 5, and at one time there's been 8. So you have to keep that in mind as you're planning for the future. One question.
No, thank you very much. What I will say, and I'll put this back to the applicant, the first section was done in 2001, am I correct? Yep, 2001. So at that time, there was approval for the section 2 at the time. Now, 20 years is a long time, especially when we're talking traffic studies. So I do know that this is a state road, so it's a state DOT issue.
Right.
It's not a lot we can do as the town of Henrietta, but as the applicant respond, is there anything that we've done for an updated traffic study on putting 23 more houses in this area? To the applicant? Thank you, Mr. Ryan.
For this development, this particular section does not meet any threshold that would warrant, the traffic study for the, state.
Sure. And Mr. Ryan, with stuff like that, once again, the section one, which is where that road came in off East Henrietta, that was already pre-approved. However, our staff here is fantastic. So as much as it might not be a town road, they know the people to talk to, so maybe they can get it up to the New York DOT for your suggestions. So you can either call, town hall, write an email, and we'll get back to you on it, okay?
If I may, since the subject of traffic has been brought up, can you speak to how much traffic is anticipated, increasing in that particular area?
With 23 lots, all, 2 to 3 bedroom, we'd anticipate, anywhere from, 46 to 69, additional residents. So that is not a significant amount of residents that would, like I said earlier, warrant any kind of traffic study or any notable increase in traffic.
Sure, I know that sometimes there's trip formulas and things like that, depending on the makeup of the neighborhood that's anticipated in going in there. And I was just wondering if you had any of those formulas handy.
I don't have them handy at this time, but we can certainly
Okay.
produce those as we go forward.
Thank you.
Anybody else from the neighbors? Come on up and state your name. And also for the board up here, I know that you were saying that because it was in context, but we'll also do this after the neighbors. I just want to hear from the neighbors.
I am Dan Sullivan, 28 Night Frost, which on your map, as you come out of Northern Lights Drive, it would be the second existing house on the right. I want to just amplify a couple of comments here. The number of people going in and out isn't that big a problem. The problem is the traffic on East Henrietta Road and getting in and out of that. In addition to that traffic, there's a dip where they're replacing the bridge right now, okay? And that is almost, but not quite, a blind drive. Okay, and especially in the winter or on Fridays when they have the trash bins out, there's lots of near accidents that go on there, and it's only because you know about them that you're taking extra care. So that does need, I understand it's a state road, but it needs to get up to the state on that. Another concern that I have is in the storm drainage. The creek that drains into the retention pond there runs right behind my house. And we've been living there for, I think, 8 years, and twice in major storms, that has overflowed up into the backyard. So anything that is going to increase the amount of water there, where there's a potential for backing that creek up, is to me a significant problem. And I want to make sure that that is taken care of.
Cole, can you comment on the change in drainage? I mean, is this going to affect them adversely, possibly positively? Or not at all?
So the drainage has been something that we looked at in this development. It's been so that pond that's been there today is something that the town has made some modifications to in the past. And we've looked to working with the town on that. Chris?
Yeah, if I can interject, Chris Barton, Director of Engineering and Planning. I mean, as part of this development, Cole, you're putting in some bioretention facilities upstream from this. And I think that'll capture some of the water as well as treat it. So they do have to, the applicant has to adhere to the New York State DEC requirements, which really were back when the original subdivision was built. So not only are they going to detain more water than was originally, but they're also going to treat it as well. So I don't foresee any, increase. But you'll probably see some decrease as well going to that creek from this development. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And I can add that, always the intent is to model existing conditions and reduce to existing conditions. As the original study did that, and we're conforming with that original study.
I just wanted to add too, just from a practical standpoint, the culvert is not accessible, right now. And so when we first went back there, I've walked, every square foot of this property a couple times. When we first went back there, for some of it is just plain plugged too. So, by, developing this and having access, I think that's going to improve the situation. I'm not talking from an engineering standpoint, but just a practical, having access to it and keeping it open. So.
Very good, thank you. You want to wait till our section so the neighbors can keep going? Yeah, go.
I just want to be able to answer the gentleman's question. So to that in the terms, from my understanding, the road was extended, but we're not sure if the pipe was put under the road that continues past his house. Is that, I know we talked about that in our engineering meetings. That's the culvert you're referring to, right?
Yeah.
So that culvert there is in Lucas or it's not?
Again, it's Chris Martin, Director of Engineering Planning. That culvert was installed back in 2012.
But it was plugged.
I mean, it's just, when we went back there, it's just almost impossible to get to.
Right.
And there was debris around it
Yeah.
that was impeding the flow.
So that would have definitely been affecting his backyard because he is 2 houses upstream.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Yeah, and you're gonna be able to fix that in this new development, or at least unplug it.
Just the area in general is very wooded, so there's a lot of brush that's fallen down and those types of impediments can block the flow of water. So by developing the area that would be cleaned up, there'd be more access and less trees in that vicinity to
So in your professional opinion, you believe that there's gonna be a net improvement for that neighbor?
yes.
Excellent, thank you. Would any more neighbors like to make any comments? Come on up and just say your name and address. Thank you.
Hi, Lynn Folke, 31 Night Frost. I just have a real simple question. We live right where the new road will start, right diagonally across from it. Will there be a stop sign before they go into the neighborhood, or will it just be? Sometimes people drive really fast, I'm just thinking a stop sign. Be good.
Is there gonna be any stop sign here? I don't believe there is, right?
We do anticipate installing a stop sign at the end of the new road, such that they have to stop looking both ways.
Okay, great. So on the end of neither,
We would propose putting a stop sign here so they can stop.
On the way up, would they got, what about going in? They have to stop for the go in? The road. Perfect.
Yeah. This is the main through road, they got it.
I'm sorry.
yeah, please state your name and,
There's a handheld microphone on the table there. Sir, if you would just use the microphone, that'd be great.
I think he's done.
Oh,
I'm fine.
Oh,
Point at the map.
I got you. All right.
Thank you. Okay.
No, we live on a corner lot
Please state your name just really quickly, please.
and there's Night Frost goes around.
Could you just state your name for the record because we are recording?
Daryl Falke, 31 Night Frost. Yep. So we're on the corner lot here, so it kind of goes around. I don't know if there's gonna be a stop sign coming into the new road, you know, this way or this way, or it's gonna be 3-4.
I see what you're saying. So you're trying to make it so the two parts of Night Frost that connect are not colliding going into there.
Yeah, you know, coming into Northern Lights. I'm not sure, but this lot here comes around. This will be the main doorway probably coming in.
Yeah,
I don't know.
no plan to put one there. You're putting one leading out of Northern Lights, but not going in, correct?
We'd be happy to work with the town to find the ideal placement.
Okay.
The stop sign.
Thank you. Any other neighbor comments? Yep, come on up. And this bends down, so feel free to just grab it. Perfect.
My name is James Aldrin. I just wanted some clarification. So there will be a stop sign. My question is, will there be two stop signs so that people will have to stop both going from Night Frost to the new street and in the other direction also from the new street to Night Cross? Will there be a two-way stop?
I believe it's just the one way leading out of the new development, but the applicant just said they work with the town to find out if that's something that's needed. The second one, there will be one leading out of the current or Northern Lights, the new development. Going in, they don't propose that right now, but they'll get with town staff and the applicant will have to get with our engineering staff and find out if that's something that's merited.
That's the town road. I'll have to talk to the highway superintendent for the town.
Any other comments? Okay, excellent. I'll bring it to the planning board first. Mr. Eckert, do you have any comments?
I have no comment from the applicant at this point, sir.
Okay.
I do have a point of clarification. I think that at the end of the comments, we may want to sidebar with Mr. Young.
Okay. Mike?
Yep.
Okay. Didn't sound like it. I don't think you are.
Well, you're right.
I should repeat that, would you?
A little late. I think it might be wise to have a little sidebar with the added information of the sprinklers to the houses so that we can all be brought up to date.
Okay.
But after the comments, if that's okay with you.
Well, this is the public hearing portion, so we'll continue with the public hearing and then we'll move to that. Mrs. Burl, any comments?
I do not, thank you.
Ms. Safranek?
I guess my only questions are the couple of houses at the very end, number 1 Northern Lights Drive and number 23 are just very close to a couple of residences that are currently there. I was just wondering if there was any need for screening along like the side of number 1 and the back of 23. So that the current residents will have a little bit of privacy.
Is it okay to use this mic? Sure. So actually, contract is going to be retained by the next door neighbor. They are relatives of the Capitasis, so they're getting lot 1. So they're welcome to do what they want with it. And certainly on lot 23, one of the things we do is try and create privacy. We would want certainly privacy for the new homeowner, which would create privacy for the existing. So I'm not certain that the home would sit exactly like that as we progress through, and then also take into consideration trees, extra trees to, give the privacy. We did the same thing actually on our model. I'm about to put trees across the back on our model because the home behind, there's just like a little privacy between that. And then we agreed on lot 23 when we contracted with her, same thing, we're putting trees across the back. So it's something that we do constantly with Morel.
Right. And any sidewalks and or shoulders that are planned for the new road?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're, go ahead. Yeah, so there's no sidewalks in section one. So we were continuing to be consistent throughout the whole subdivision and not proposing any sidewalks for section two.
Oh, second, sir, are you all set?
I just, there was just the one question of the street lights. Is there gonna be any street lighting? Along, Northern Light Track?
Any street lighting?
Similar to the sidewalks, none in section one, so none in section two. That's also a town maintenance thing, so we would coordinate with the town to make sure that's something that they would want.
Brian, Chris Martin, Director of Engineering and Planning. This subdivision is not in the lighting district, it never was, so hence there's no proposed lights in either section.
Okay, great, thank you.
Could I add a comment to that before we move on? When we do not have streetlights, we do put a post light that's included that works on a sensor for every homeowner.
Okay, fantastic.
Yep.
Thank you.
All set?
Mhm.
Mr. Lissu, can I hear the neighbor here?
Yeah, you want to?
Yes, sir. Step up and just give us your name and your address, please.
Harry Heinz, 71 Night Frost. When all of this process is done, does Burrell have a sense of when they would like construction to begin and how long construction would go on from beginning to completion?
Ideally, we would like to start construction in 2026. Just to give you an example, Honey Eye Falls is the same product and we just put 23 sites in section 2A. It took us start to finish construction about 18 months. So it does depend on the market. The current real estate market is obviously very good. We're leading the nation in sellers market. If that continued, I would anticipate it moving through 24 months from the start to completion. We do work with customers ahead of even developing the site and letting them know time frame is going to vary, but we move through quite quickly. We give an example. I have 26 sites in Victor right now. We've already got 6 of those sold, and we just put the blacktop down, so we're starting right away, moving through. I know the residents don't want to live with the construction, and even the new customers don't. So,
Thank you. Very good. Mr. Liss?
Yeah, I have a couple of questions. Curbing, will these be standard curbs or they will be I don't know the name for the concrete soil? Concrete gutters. Is that what this will be?
Concrete gutters are proposed to match into the section one.
And the cul-de-sac, that section there in the circular, will that be curbed?
The
cul-de-sac?
inside will be a mountable curb.
A mountable curb.
Yeah.
And will there be a tree in the center of that curb, cul-de-sac, or have you finished your?
We have not
landscaping plan?
finished a full landscaping plan. We will be providing one that will be done by a professional landscape architect. There are issues putting trees in the center of cul-de-sac sometimes with snow storage, a lot of salt from the road, utilities under the cul-de-sacs, but we're willing to work with the town to make sure that it's a nice looking cul-de-sac.
I've been in a lot of cul-de-sacs and it is very pleasing to come to a cul-de-sac with a nice tree in the center. And there seems to be enough access around it to accomplish that. What would be the average, approximate cost of these starter homes or starter buildings? Can you give me
so when I said
idea?
Starter home, it's more of a first new home, maybe for a customer. They'd probably come out of an existing home. So probably their second, what we call a move up buyer. And unfortunately, what's driven costs up, they probably will start at about the 475 range, and some finish in the 5s, but a lot of them being in the 600 to 700. Yep. And the resales in the neighborhood kind of warrant that. So there's been some resales that are in the $500,000 to $600,000 price range. So
I do have some friends that live in Morel Homes and they're very pleased.
Wonderful.
So just
Thank you for sharing that.
comment on that. And I was waiting for my screen with that, but I was looking at that Vanguard engineering report. Are we doing the stormwater prevention plan or because that first paragraph
Yep.
that hadn't been done?
So this just being preliminary, it's very common just to have a drainage report. So just to kind of give you a quick overview, so right now is the first step in this process, which would be the public hearing for the preliminary subdivision, which we're having now. If it goes to the workshop session and gets approved, then they'll have preliminary subdivision approval. The next step will be the town board, where the town board has to approve the open space, the conservation easement. Once the town board approves that, then the last step is coming back to the planning board for final approval of section 2. So a lot of comments that you have tonight, like the stop signs and stuff and the drainage, we'll have a better understanding of where that's going. We'll certainly, even though it's not a public hearing, we'll still invite the public, just like you'll get a letter similar to what you received earlier in the mail. But as part of that final subdivision, they will have to do a stormwater pollution prevention plan, or a SWIP as we call it.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. Is there anybody else in the audience? Come on up, sir.
David Herring, Mike Frost. Thank you. As discussion continued on, talking about the cul-de-sac, which also brings to mind the dedicated piece of property that went to the town on Winter Garden. The maintenance of such. The roadway, as well as that strip of land, is now the town's, coming in from East Henrietta Road on the south, primarily the south side.
No, he's talking about on the south side of the road.
The south side of the road, there's a strip of land, there's the Winter Garden sign. That's technically now town property, correct? As I look at the property viewer on Monroe County properties, that shows up as town property. And I'm not sure what the right of way is from center line for that. There's a couple of pieces in. I'm just asking about maintenance of that and who's going to maintain the trees and whatnot in the cul-de-sac, because I don't believe there's going to be any HOA or any of those pieces, correct?
We don't.
The trees in the cul-de-sac, the town does take responsibility to mow the cul-de-sac, as well as the real copy for that entrance coming in. But also, trees are concerned. We have a lot of subdivisions that have trees. We do encourage them in the cul-de-sac. Sometimes the residents take that burden on themselves, but take that and take care of themselves. The town will take minimal responsibility, the rating and things like that if necessary. But, it's part of moving and things like that. Possibly not.
Yeah, and again, I'm getting into the general maintenance. There's some dead trees in there in that strip right along the creek that runs in.
Well, I would go by the town, if it is on town property.
Okay.
So if you can send us an email.
Yep.
Have my information. Send it to me and I'll forward that to our outlet.
Okay.
I think it's a stand of trees on the south side, Chris, but I think it's a drainage swale.
Yeah, I have to make sure if it's on our property or it's on the adjacent property.
Yeah, again, I don't know where the boundary begins and ends, but it looks like, yeah.
Mr. Herring, can you point that out where you're referring to? Is it on that map right there? Okay.
No.
On the front end.
Okay. I have it. I just wanted to confirm.
And once again, that being section 1, and we're talking about section 2, certainly reach out to Chris, because it would be a different issue.
And another piece of that is, although as a neighborhood group, we've been maintaining that strip and cleaning it up. There's a large pine tree right at the entrance on the southeast corner. It becomes a sight distance issue. It actually blocks your sight distance. this tree, yeah, that, and then just out of it, you know. Yeah, that's the question.
Okay, you know, again, if you could put that information to me, your concerns in an email, I can forward that to our highway department and they can take a look at it. Or contact you to see what the concerns are directly and see what we can do.
Yep. And just one other question, I know, Bill, you and I have talked about this at one point before, is that when the Cafatasis did the development of Winter Gardens, there were restrictive covenants placed on all the properties. Is that still in effect for phase two, or how was, I'm just curious, more of a curiosity.
Yes, we would, want to continue, the look and nature of the entire section one and
Yeah.
continuing into section two.
Just a question on that, because it
It's
was,
not a question. Put those conditions in all parties.
because it was filed, you know. And then just a statement on the request about stop signs. It's all great and good. You look at the people coming into the neighborhood through the, or out of the neighborhood at those two stop signs at, Winter Garden. They blow through it. So it's more of a respect for your neighbors than anything else.
And I will say also, in response to that again, it's Chris Martin, Director of Engineering and Planning. The town does have a detail with the Monroe County Sheriffs, where every now and then they can provide us with a sheriff, like once a week. And we can have them go to certain areas if we're seeing problems.
Yeah.
So if you are seeing a problem, stuff like that, we can have a police officer there. And, but we just need to request that or let us know and we can run that up the chain of command, so to speak.
Yeah, and as well as too, as all the concerns talked about the intersection at East Henrietta Road. Goes back to people respecting the 35-mile-an-hour speed limit. You try to get out in the morning. It's hard to judge because you got just this whole variation, but mostly it's 55 miles an hour.
Yeah, I can personally empathize with that because I live off Pinnacle. So with that detour now, we see exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, you've heard about accidents on Good Burlette and Pinnacle.
Yeah.
And a lot of that is because of that detour. So yeah, we are aware of that. And maybe we can get with the state and have them do some more data on that. And somebody mentioned the sight line too. Those are when it gets scary.
That sight line going, to the north is pretty poor. Just wondered if, now that it's under construction, conversations on maybe some nominal traffic calming pieces for that. I know it's not anything for this, but just in general.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Okay, being that there are none, I therefore close this public hearing. Planning board will now adjourn just briefly before we get into the agenda portion. So you're welcome to stay. We just have this one application for a preliminary. And then after that, we just have some discussion. You're more than welcome to stay, but at this point, the public hearing has been adjourned and we'll be back with you in just a moment, okay? Yeah, and in regards to this, we have a attorney-client meeting regarding some of the town details.
Yeah, so we're just gonna do a quick recess.
Yeah. But I'll relay this, okay? I'll relay it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's nice. Okay. So keep it up, we're gonna bet the neighbors.
Handed me something, some man, something about how. I mean, Right. Right.
Okay, I'm gonna call this meeting back to order. Before starting on the agenda items, the chair would entertain a motion to approve the meetings from April 15th, 2025, please. Mrs. Brill abstain.
I'll move to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you.
I think we may want to have Ms. Bukowski maybe read that in the minutes. What is that?
Yes, yes. Very good. What if the letter, when you were on your way out, the man approached me, and gave me a letter. Sure.
After the public hearing was closed.
It's part of.
So he came out as we were leaving to go to work.
Okay, well, I'll give this to town staff and they can add it to it, but the public meeting hearing is closed at this point. So can I hand that to you, Chris? Is that all right? Yeah. Beautiful, thank you. Okay, the first and only application on the agenda tonight is once again, application number PB 224.2, the Winter Garden subdivision, section 2. This is for preliminary subdivision approval of a 23 lot cluster subdivision for single family homes on approximately 12.42 acres located on Northern Lights Drive in a residential R115 zoned district, tax account number 176.17-1-99. Applicants, would you like to add anything that we didn't hear maybe in the public hearing? Okay. Board members, I'll go through again and just check this out. Craig, you got any additional comments?
I have no additional comments. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Mrs. Brill?
I have no additional comments.
Ms. Franek?
No.
Mr. Less?
Nothing from me, no.
Nor do I. That being said, we did have just a quick client or attorney board meeting just to clarify a couple of things. With that being said, I will put in a motion to approve application PB 224-2 contingent on the resolution that we have and also conditional on adding sprinklers. Is that okay verbiage?
Sorry about that. You're going to move the resolution as written, but with an added condition requiring sprinklers.
That is correct.
Gotcha.
Does the chair have a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those not say no. In the chair's opinion, the ayes have it. Congratulations, application PB 224-2 has been approved for preliminary. We will talk to you soon. Thank you. Yeah, the seeker's in the resolution, so we should be okay. And I'm sorry, who put the second in? Was it you, Patty? Okay, all we have now are some discussion items. The first one is Starbucks. Planning board is to discuss approving a 6-month extension for application number 24-004. It was originally approved on April 16th, 2024. Project that to be located at 1012 Lehigh Station Road in an industrial zone district. Tax count 176062211. Is anybody here representing the applicant? Come on back up.
Hi again, my name is Cole Pepperidge with Marathon Engineering. Not too much to add to this one. Just they're working through some contractual things and they've got that all settled and they're ready to go. So no changes to the plan as it was approved.
Beautiful. And there was some correspondence that we thought maybe this was after the deadline, but apparently you applied prior to the deadline, so we're okay on this. Mr. Young?
Yeah, there was an issue raised and the town's position is that you can go forward tonight.
Okay, beautiful. Even though this is a discussion item, I would like to, does anybody have any comments on this first off? Okay. The chair would entertain a motion on this.
Even on the discussion.
Yeah, they have an approval line and we've been doing that lately, so.
Okay. Approve.
Mrs. Brill. Does the chair have a second?
Second.
Mr. Eckert? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those not say nay. The ayes have it. We're good on Starbucks. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next discussion item, Bob Johnson Cadillac, Planning Board to review revised building elevations for the Cadillac dealership formerly known as Valley Cadillac, located at 3100 Winton Road South in an industrial zone district, tax account 149202217. Do we have somebody for the applicant here? Come on up and state your name clearly, please.
Paige Lemire, Razi Architects.
Can you pull that down? You should say it a little clearer, please.
Paige Lemire, Razi Architects.
Thank you.
Okay, let us know what we're looking at here.
So essentially, we're just refacing the outside of the building. We're doing some finishes on the inside, but that would be a standard permit application for that. As you can see on the screen, currently it's kind of like a tile look, and we would bring it up to like the ACM, the standard kind of all dealership look. So it has a little bit of that cant to it. So it has a little bit of a bend to it, but we're also going to bring the building height down a little bit. Currently, there is a portion that's tall, and we're going to chop that down and bring it all kind of the same height.
Okay. Smart. What's the reason for the discussion? Just to look at the aesthetics of this?
Yeah, so basically with elevations that go in when they're making changes, we'd like to bring it before the board because the board is the architecture review board.
Okay. Anything that we ought to know about that the applicant isn't mentioning? Or are we looking good?
No, I think it's a great move.
Does look sharp.
Will the dealership be closed down at all if you're removing part of the roof?
The roofs, that portion will close down during that construction, but they should be able to still function. And then it'll just be that one kind of vestibule area that will be closed down.
Any other questions for anybody?
No, just a comment. I think it's time for a refresh and this looks good.
Very good.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Do we have materials? Did you bring?
I ordered some and they haven't come yet.
Okay. I guess my only concern would be a gloss white on the angle of the reflection. So I'm not sure if that's meant to be a high gloss or if it's meant to be more of a matte.
Is it a white or a silver?
It's white. So it will be a lighter kind of white color. I can double check. I think it's matte, but we can provide samples if you would like that too.
I would just prefer it to not be, I guess, if it's possible, not a high gloss, therefore reducing its reflective. I just see that being.
Can you just get back to the town and let them know what it is? I mean, you don't have to necessarily bring the product, but as long as it's not high gloss, then if it is, then we'll have another discussion.
Okay. Yeah, certainly.
Appreciate it. Anybody else? Okay. As we Sorry, go ahead.
Was the Bob Johnson logo going to be on here? Did I miss that?
I don't think it'll be on the building. They will have some signage, but not directly on the building. They just want to keep it kind of clean with that Cadillac look.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis. The chair would entertain a motion on this one.
Based on Mrs. Lemire getting back to the town regarding the finish of the white quote unquote tiles being matte or gloss administratively, confirm that. I motion to move.
Approve?
Yes.
Does the chair have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All noes say no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. Thank you very much for coming in and letting us know. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Okay, last one up, discussion item, Tally Home mezzanine addition, planning board reviewed building elevations for mezzanine addition to the existing building located at 1555 Eastern Ed Road in commercial B1 zone district, tax account number 162069192. Hello, how are you? Just state your names if you would.
Roger Langer with Greater Living Architecture, 3033, right at Downline Road.
Thank you.
So the applicant is approved for a second level addition to this building. So it is currently a white vinyl with a gray roof, and we're matching that. We're adding full windows to the East Henrietta roadside, as well as the left side or south side of the building, because that's the most visible portions of the building. Just full windows because obviously you can't see in, and just to kind of mimic what's currently there. And then reinstall the black canopy awning on front of the building.
There's no color elevations, but you're staying the same as what it is.
It's all right.
Okay.
Just
Okay, gotcha.
color elevations won't show much.
Anything we see on this one, Mr. Martin?
No, Mr. Vice Chairman, again, the applicant been into the town, we've met them several times, and also they received a special use permit from the town board.
Okay.
So the next stop is the architecture review board.
Very good. Any comments from the board?
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand a couple of things. It sounds like are you going to do a refresh of your frontage along with adding on the second level?
The need to be removed and reinstalled, but it is just going to be white siding to match the original siding that's on the building. We're not replacing the siding.
Okay, and the signage?
There's no signage on.
There's a sign above, but it's staying the same. It's probably
staying the
just,
same.
it's all faded and ugly, so it's very old. So we're probably just gonna replace the sign inside with the color, but it's staying exactly the same.
Okay, and I believe you said faux windows on the, I'm sorry, I'm having some issues with my computer here. On the second level, okay, and I don't see any door or anything, so that's just, it's adding to the internal second level. That's just the frontage that we're seeing on the outside. There's not gonna be any like balcony or anything like
No.
people to come out on. And that,
There is a rear exterior stairway or a second means of egress.
Okay.
But that's behind. The
okay, as a fire exit kind of
Yes.
thing. Right, and that it looks like there's like a front porch area that's gonna be,
That's existing. It's going to stay the same.
okay, great. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Any other comments?
And I'm sorry, one quick question. Can you describe the faux window? What are we going to really be looking at? Is it just a piece of shaded plexiglass? It'll be glass that's painted black on the interior. Okay. And then it'll be framed that is over it on the inside. So the inside, you'll never see the window. Okay.
There's two on the bottom right now, and they're the same exact way. They're just completely black.
It's just glass, painted black on the backside, framed up in the window. Okay.
Yeah, it's for aesthetics.
Yeah.
Then are you just expanding upstairs what you have downstairs, or what are you expanding to?
Well, it's more giving us room to move around because of it being so tight and so small. We are actually moving some things around for patrons to be able to get in. There's going to be two or three extra exit doors. I don't remember. We've added three exit doors, downstairs and one upstairs. And more than anything else, just to give everybody room, elbow room to,
So is it open to the public upstairs? Is it?
oh yeah, yes, yeah. The capacity is not being increased. No capacity increase. It's just.
You're just almost doubling your space.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, just more better, having some space, getting to the bathroom, getting everything around.
Anything else from the board? Okay, Chair, we'll entertain a motion on this discussion item.
Chairman, I'll move to approve.
Okay, Mr. Eckert.
I'll second that.
Okay, Mr. List, thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those,
Question before we
Yep.
close. I don't think he mentioned his name when he spoke, so do we
Yeah.
need to do that?
this is discussion, so it's by Ignacio.
Is it?
Thank you, Ignacio.
Thanks, Joe.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone against? No. The ayes have it. Thanks for coming in. We really appreciate it. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Anything else for, the good of the order, Mr. Martin?
Yeah, and we're looking for the apartment complex, it's gonna go right across from the library.
South.
Behind the library.
Behind the library.
Behind, yeah.
Where the hotel was supposed to go.
Yeah.
Oh, no hotel.
No
Yeah,
hotel.
no, hotel.
Wasn't that just here? Wasn't the hotel just here?
It's a couple years ago. They did.
Ever since the pickleball court. They don't need the hotel.
So it's not gonna be senior, it's not gonna be student, it's they're all market rate, so.
Good.
You want a nice place to look at the fireworks?
So all the other,
For sure.
oh, wow.
Stories.
All the other ones besides the senior one next to the Wegmans, it's all students?
No, there's no students.
Oh, wait, okay.
So the one next to,
Seniors coming for
the
everything.
next to Wegmans, not Doodlebug.
Yeah.
Senior.
That's
They're
senior.
subsidized.
But everything else out there is all great.
Not always, but that's the issue.
Behind it, in Fairview.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
okay. That's why I was like, wait a minute, that's not student. Okay,
No, we get students there.
correct.
They
But
get
it's-
even that too.
And one thing before we
Learning.
one thing before we adjourn, are we internally gonna look into, so if we run into this again, find out what counts as a change or,
Yeah, so I think we're still gonna look at, and again, it's.
that's okay. I just want, that's why I'm saying.
Yeah, I think it's, it really know, and it's kind of rough for everybody.
Yeah.
We've never encountered it before.
So, that being said, before we adjourn, thank you, Mr. Young, for bringing that to our attention. Appreciate it.
Sure.
Does the chair have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second,
Second.